Hello, everyone. Alex De Silva, co-founder and director of Happy as Larry Group. I've just been for a walk. It's really beautiful in London today. Went to the park and I was just having a little think about the word compassion. Um, Something I didn't have before. I had an incident, or a couple of incidents, not so much incidents, but little things that happened on Friday with a family member, and then separately something happened with a friend. And I previously I was thinking about my reaction to that, and how previously that would have really angered me, and it would have really annoyed me, both of their behaviors, although what was happening was completely separate. And I started to understand how important change is, how important it is to understand who we are and who we want to be, and start to apply those changes to life. Becoming compassionate, becoming compassionate to others, to ourselves, learning to have self-respect. I wanted to ask you, how do you normally react when somebody is being negative? What happened with me is I had a situation where um, somebody was being very negative. I was sat in a car ride and I couldn't get out of the situation. And for the 40 minutes we were sat together, probably for about 39 of those minutes, the conversation that we were having was really, really negative. To me, being such a positive person and always wanting to get the best out of people and always wanting to help, and being full of energy and really, really positive, for about a minute or 2 minutes, it's great. I can put up with it, but after a while it starts to kind of grind on me, and I could feel that negative energy running through me, and it's hard because you can't get away. So what do you do? What I did is I listened. I listened carefully, and I tried to answer the questions as best as I could in the situation, and try to divert away from constantly having these negative conversations. I never really understood why we this person is always being so negative, and I'm starting to. I guess this is where compassion comes from, of late, where before I would be very quick to anger. And I'm starting to understand that we're not perfect. Human beings are not perfect. We're never going to be. I learned a word which suits me perfectly, and that's being perfectly imperfect. And that for me is just fine. I like that because it allows me to have room to grow, and that's what I want to do. That's always been my goal, is to keep growing and to keep developing as a person, and to help others. To help others effectively. I want to do good things. So I want to find out from you, have you been through this? Have you been in situations where you've been sat down with a friend, or you've sat down with a family member, or a partner, or kids, or a stranger, and all they've done is they've chewed your ear off, for 10, 15, 20, half an hour. And were you previously quick to anger? How did it make you feel after? Before, for me, what would have happened with me is I would have carried that energy. I would have taken that energy away with me, and I would have taken that on somebody else. Somebody else would have got the brunt of that, and somebody else would have got my negativity, because what I would have done is I would have spent then 40 minutes talking about the negativity that got put on me for 40 minutes, and had a full discussion about that, and had a really good moan, and and a good whinge about the whole situation, and not thought twice about the person sat there listening to me, either at the other end of the phone, or a partner or a friend, or whoever it may be. I think compassion has to come from two ways: either being able to be compassionate of other people, in a situation where somebody is is being negative, and they are having a moan, and and sometimes we can't escape from those situations. It's good sometimes to start to think outside of the box. Is, what, I haven't got time for this, and why are you telling me this stuff? I really don't want to hear it. Is to understand, why are they actually telling me this? Is there a reason why this person keeps telling me these things? Are they reaching out to me? Because sometimes we can miss those messages. It may not be said, in black and white as such. But sometimes if we listen close enough, we might just pick something out of there that could really mean a lot to that person. The fact that we can sit there and listen and not being judgmental, not being quick to anger, not to point the finger, can mean a hell of a lot to someone. You can actually make somebody's day by just being there, whatever the situation may be. Second of all is if we're taking away all of that pain and we're starting to take that negative energy, let's think twice. Is it something that I need to carry? Do I need to take somebody else's burden? Although I've just sat there listening to them, do I have to take that burden on? Is it something that I want to carry with me? Because unfortunately, negative energy can be quite poisonous. I know it's quite a sort of a big word to use, but it is. It's very poisonous. If you think about it, it just goes around and round and round. Inside you, it goes around your head, and you start to feel it in your body as well. And that negative energy drags you down. So it's good for us to be able to think twice before we start dumping somebody else's load that's been dumped on us onto then somebody else. Because what's going to happen is they are then going to go off and do the same to somebody else. I think it's a learning curve for all of us. Compassion is not something that comes easily nowadays, I've realized. We live in a world where we're consumed by, stress, depression, anxiety, fears, pressures from work, pressures from a relationship, pressures to be, a certain way, a way that you behave, to be fit, to go to the gym, to look a certain way, to be a type of person, someone that you even not, that can put a lot of strain on a person. And when we get presented with these situations, I think, the word compassion or even behaving in that way is probably far from our thoughts. We don't even care. I think a lot of the times we've become so selfish that, we just worry about us, and we just want to make sure that we're okay. And that's fine. It's good for us to be able to think about us and making sure that, that we are okay and that we are doing the right things. But sometimes I think it's good to take ourselves away from us for a minute and think about somebody else. We never really know what's going on behind closed doors with that person. We never really understand, as I said before, what they're trying to get to. Are they trying to ask for help? Do they just want to vent because they need a friend? Do they trust you and love you enough to be able to confide in you? I think that's kind of it, to be honest. I just wanted to get your opinion on it. Have you been in that situation where you were very quick to anger and not thought twice before actually having a little bit of compassion? I know I did previously. I know sometimes I still can, and I am human. I do sometimes get a little bit annoyed with certain situations, but who doesn't? We're here to learn, we're here to grow, and I think if I'm to sit here and tell you that, my life is a bed of roses, then it's a lie. I have a fantastic life, I have a beautiful life, but it comes with its challenges, like most things. But one of the things I have learned is this, is to understand how my mind and how my body works and understand the difference between the two. If you can make the difference between the two of them, then life gets a lot easier. It's understanding that what goes on up here a lot of the times is not true, and it is a lie, and is based around fear. And as we all know, fear is a lie. And once you connect with your body and you connect with your soul, your spirit, and you start to channel positive energy, things change very quickly. And then you do start to have compassion and start to understand others a lot better, and you start to become a lot calmer, and you start to think of what you can do for others. So let me know what you think. Put your comments below. Make sure you like, share the videos, and also subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on Facebook at Happy as Larry Group. You can follow us on Twitter at Happy as Larry Group. You can follow us on Instagram at Happy as Larry Group, and you can check out our website, which is www.happyaslarrygroup.com. Have a fantastic day, evening. It's still Monday, and the day is not over. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.